Professor Hales here with you again, and right now you're probably thinking, where the Hales is Jeremy? Don't worry, he'll be back with you. But until then, we're going to practice our profiling of storage units. You may be thinking, what do you mean by profiling? Well, profiling is something we do every day in our lives. And at its simple core, it's producing, it's presenting an analysis, a description of something, and we do that with everything. For example, just the other day, George opened the refrigerator door and went, "Whoa! What got in here?" She profiled using her sense of smell. Great thing to do when at storage unit auctions. That door goes up, smell. See if they were smokers. Did they have pets? Things along those lines. Use all of your senses to profile. She was right. There was a smell, but it was a delicious thing for me. I made egg salad the day before. I know what you're thinking right now. What the hell? This man knows how to make food? I did it. I watched a YouTube video. When I met George the first time, I saw that smile. I'm telling you, that smile just captivated me. And I profiled her and thought she may be the most joyous, most laughter-filled woman I have ever met in my life. And I was completely right. I can't believe it. I was right again. Sometimes I get lucky. With her, I got extremely lucky. When you profile, and right now you may be thinking, I don't profile. Yeah, you profile every day. Go back and look at the last 10 videos you left comments on and read your comments. You were profiling too. If we can use all those same principles and techniques and apply it to storage units, we can come up with an analysis and a description of what is in the unit that can make us money and what isn't in the unit that will lose us money.
If we head over to storagetreasures.com, here is an actual unit that I have an interest in, and probably everybody else as well, because as you can see, there is a safe. Now, this Sentry Safe, not the most expensive safe, probably $100, give or take $20 or so at Walmart. But we have to ask the question, why is this safe in this unit, right? Now, let's take a further look at this unit. What else is in here? Let's see, we got a crate full of DVDs on top of the safe. All right. We have a tote, what looks like to be clothing, and a tote, what I can see underneath, paperwork and a card. But what else can we see? Honestly, it's what we can't see that interests me here. This is a 10-foot by 30-foot unit. What's missing? And you've probably profiled and guessed correctly. Somebody was working on vehicles in here. We've got tire marks. We've got kitty litter to clean up all the oil spills. So there is a vehicle missing, which has to lead me to profile to ask the question, if somebody took the vehicle, why didn't they take the safe? The safe is right here. Why? You've got to ask these questions and determine what your comfort level is in bidding then. If we look at some of the other pictures, let's look at one here. We can see here that there are two chairs, just fabric chairs, vinyl chairs off of the ground. I doubt they were working on the vehicles with those chairs in there, just kicking back and sitting in those chairs working on the vehicles. What interests me even more is the box, the top box to the right. Because what that looks like to me, after getting all kinds of boxes out of storage units, is that looks like a mouse hole. Now, that doesn't mean that it is, that mice chewed through that box. I'm profiling, trying to create a full picture, analysis, or description. Why would a box with a hole in it right there be up top on another box if it got a hole from being on the ground? Maybe I'm completely and totally wrong and it didn't. Or maybe somebody went in there and put it on top. And if they wanted to, it's all the more power to them for doing it. They can do whatever they want with their items, for sure. But I have to ask the question in the profiling, why? And is this worth bidding on? And up to what threshold am I willing to bid on as I bid on this unit? Here's another storage unit at the same facility. So this one is currently at $260. We can look at it and say boxes aren't very well cared for. But if we do look right here, we see there are words fragile. We see that some things are labeled. But what has most people interested in this one? Well, my guess is we've got over to the left. I'm trying to put it in the center for you. There are cases, and it looks like it could be gun cases. Because really, other than that, it kind of looks a little empty, and it kind of looks a little trashed. We've got totes that have no lids on them. We've got boxes that aren't sealed with tape or closed. Why would somebody be bidding $260? That's with 30 minutes to go. Well, it's probably not for this 6-string guitar. The guitar's not even cared for. It's probably gone through the weather. It's probably really rough right now. It's probably not for the crate, for the damaged boxes. We could probably all agree on that. Remember, we have to profile correctly. If we look off to the left in the bottom corner, somebody thinks there's guns. Under the fluorescent green tote, there's also what looks like to be a trunk. So $260 for a very much so a risk of what is in that case. Now, the only thing going good for me as I look at this is I've got the money to lose if I wanted to take a gamble. But I don't gamble. I always calculate the risk. Is there money to be made back? And if both of these units that we just profiled are together, is it worth going to get them? What I don't like about this one, it's a mess. If it looks like people don't care, they probably didn't have things that were quality enough to care for. So, why spend more money? That's profiling. What's in it? What isn't in it? What picture can we paint? What can we assess and analyze about the actual unit, and therefore make an educated bid and a threshold of a number in our mind of where our profit margin is absolutely at? Because we're not going to take a risk based on something that we can't make money on. We'll never bid more money than we can actually determine that's in there. Now it's your turn to profile this unit for me. It's a small unit. We see different items in the unit. Try and tell me the story. It's got another day until it actually ends, with the majority of the bids coming within the last 5 minutes of an auction. What is it that has already driven it up to $100? Let's look at some of the other items a little bit closer. What do you think? What do you see? What's the story? The story that you can piece together. What can you analyze and then properly profile based on the things you can see, the things you can't see, the profit margin that definitely exists, the profit margin that may exist? What can you tell me about unit number 3 as we look at these pictures? Pause the video if you need to. Analyze it. Tell me what you see. Tell me the story. We're profiling, trying to learn together. There are things that puzzle me. There are things that concern me. And there are things that I already know why people are bidding up to $100 with a couple days to go. What do you think the proper profile is? Because storage unit number 1 and storage unit number 2 are at the same facility, I'm willing to throw out $500 to pick them both up on the same trip in hopes that there's money in there. And I'm a little skeptical, but things are a bit thin right now. One of the things everybody is thinking, see the camo? Everybody's thinking there's guns in this unit, which is why it's at 260. So, I have the money to lose. I would never recommend you actually bidding up to 500 on these two. If there's money in the safe, which we have to bid as if there is no money in the safe, because we can't see money in the safe, then we're okay if there's money in the safe, but we don't know that. All we know, the car is missing. So what I'm going to do, I've got 2 tabs. I'm going to bid on both of them because they both end at the same time. I'm going to place a bid on both of them within the last minute. Let's take one more look at these units as we have just under 5 minutes to go. It looks like we have cloth, dirty cloth, or gloves down here. DVDs in a crate. We've got a Sentry Safe, not the highest end. Looks like cardboard that was laid down doing car work. Looks like a card right in here. Paperwork in here. Other things we can't tell. Clothing items here. Looks like some garbage, maybe something busted, maybe leaves there. We go over here. We can see the word contractor right here. So I'm guessing these are boxes of books. Here, we may see a video game case, we may see a DVD case. And other than that, we know nothing. So that's kind of rough in regards to the profile. Our hope is there would be some money. 3 minutes, 50 seconds to go, still at 130. Second unit, same location. We see camo right here. We see all kinds of fishing poles. We see what could be gun cases, but my guess is they probably are not. We've got tools, and probably not the greatest tools if I'm basing it on the age of this circular saw right here. Again, proper profiling. I've got boxes that are sitting in boxes instead of items in boxes, caved in, not cared for, totes with no lids. This is not a pretty unit by any stretch of the imagination. These guitars aren't cared for, and I'm somebody who's owned over 100 guitars and has sold over 100 guitars. And so there's nothing that pops out and goes, oh man, there's money. Why is the guitar out of the case? We'll see in another picture the case is cracked open. See right here, there's a gap. The case is open. Why are the guitars out of the case? There is another one in here as well. There is a trunk right here. And again, this is probably an instrument or a tool rather than a gun, but most people are probably betting on a gun, and a gun here as well. Again, based on a toolbox here, painting trowel, the whole deal. This is probably empty cases, or this could be an instrument, a violin, based on the guitars. Does look like there's some camping supplies. That's why it's going high, because people think they're going to find a gun, which the chances of that in this unit, based on what I'm seeing, are probably pretty slim. We've got 2 minutes, 52 seconds to go. Now we're under 2 minutes. We're still at 260. Once we get under a minute, we're going to bid on both of them. Remember, when placing a bid on storagetreasures.com, you're going to add time to the actual auction. So I'm placing a $10 increment bid. I'm going to confirm that bid right now. It's going to say bid now, yes, and we're outbid, but we also just add 3 minutes. So we're going to jump back over to the other one, and we are going to go 270, and we're going to confirm bid, and yes, bid. Current high bid is 280, so we are outbid on both. So I just added 3 minutes to both of these because somebody else put in a higher bid. We're going to wait again until it's under a minute. Most people bid in increments, $50, $150, $200. That's their threshold. We're going to confirm our bid right now at $160. My guess is the individual put in a max bid. You're not the high bidder of $200, okay? And I'm going to guess that the same individual did it here. We have to bid at $290, and I'm guessing that this individual bid $300 on this unit. So current high bid
300. You're not the high bidder. All right, 300 is as high as I was willing to go on this one. There's just not enough to justify it. So that being said, we're back over here at the safe. I'm willing to go 200 on the safe. I was willing to go 300 on the other. You see how I've drawn my threshold? I'm not going to go above it. So this one's already out. A 5x10 and 300 bucks. It's already there. The person who's buying this one most likely is bidding on the safe one as well. So we'll still bid on the safe. It doesn't mean we're going to win it, because I don't do this to lose money, and neither should you. And even at $200, I'm concerned that there's still not a profit margin. So we're back at 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Once we get under a minute, we're going to bid again. Remember what I said about people put thresholds in their mind? They're usually those numbers, those 100, 200, 300, or 150, 200, 250. I guarantee you that person probably put in a max bid of 300. But that's also, in my mind, where I drew the line. And so our thresholds were the same. I generally would typically encourage you to pick an oddball random number. So $315. Except in this case, with the hour-and-a-half drive, all the gas, to find out that I don't have $315 worth of items there, I just can't justify it. But if you were bidding on it, go $315 if you have the money to potentially lose. We're not going to bid on it anymore. Again, we're going to focus on this one here with the safe. I've already put in my mind 200. So my next bid will be 180. And if they put in a max bid of 200, it'll jump it to 190. And then if I put in a max bid of 200, their previous max bid will beat my max bid. So I'm guessing, again, profiling units and profiling bidders, I'm guessing that they're going to win this one as well. So here we go. 180. And bid again. You're not the high bidder. So we're going to go one more round to 200. And again, I don't think we're going to get it this time around. And that's okay, because we're not in this to lose money. We're in this to make money. The second unit, which people think guns are in, sold for $300. Again, we did not buy it. We cannot justify thinking there's a gun in here when there's so little information and so little care taken in these items. My gut instinct tells me this was not a wise purchase. So $300 was the max. They got there before I did. We're bowing out gracefully. We're still in for the safe. Let's see what we can do. With 1 minute to go, we're going to put in our $200 bid right now, which will add 3 minutes to the auction on storagetreasures.com. Here we go, 200. And current high bid, 200. You are not the bidder. So today, because we will not bid anymore, because we cannot find evidence of profit beyond that point, we will not be winning either of these units. The final bid for the safe unit was $200. Again, we did not get the unit. While no money was made today, no money was lost either. And sometimes that's okay. As a matter of fact, not losing money is always okay. That should always be your goal. But here's what I want to know. How did you do on the profiling? Where and how much would you have bid on storage unit number 1 with the safe? And how much would you have bid on storage number 2? The potential, everybody thinks there's a gun in there. And don't forget, profile storage unit number 3 for me as well. Tell me your thoughts, because that one's still going up for auction. And that one I'm still interested in. It's always good to practice your profiling. It's like anything else in life. You want to get better at basketball? Play basketball. You want to get better at golf? Play golf. You want to get better at Bidding on storage units and winning them? Practice profiling. Set your threshold. Don't go above it. You're not in the business to lose money. You're in the business to make money. This has been Jeremy. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Give us a like if you like the video. And if you don't like it, give us a double dislike. Make sure everybody knows how much you dislike What the Hales. And make sure you comment. Tell us your thoughts and your feelings. And feel free to share it with everybody on Facebook and Twitter and tweet these things out. Your Instagram, we don't care. Share it with anybody. Because that's the beauty of this. We're trying to teach you for free because we believe that anybody and everybody can do this and really succeed at the side hustle. Remember, adventure awaits. You got to go and find it.